In today's video, I want to showcase a fun build while also teaching you some fundamentals, which could help you in your own early to mid game Valheim play. We're going to show off and talk about the build, then we're going to dive in firsthand and talk about some of these elements and how they came to be so that you can use them in your own builds. So let's get right on into it. This here is what we called the community house. This was our very first build in Valheim, and it served the purpose of allowing us to all work together by containing all the essentials for progress. I highly recommend doing this with your friends before branching out and building all these personalized homes, blacksmith, mead halls, farms, etc., etc. Separating your essentials into buildings and creating a village is definitely something you want to shoot for, but probably more towards the end game. This build here isn't huge or complicated by any means, but it has enough floor space to serve every Vikings early to mid game essentials, which are the following: a large indoor cooking area where multiple Vikings can prepare food while staying dry, a bunk or barracks area where all the Vikings can sleep at once to pass the night, 8 rows of 3 stacked and labeled storage containers for mass storage, a sheltered stable to store carts for mass ore and wood transportation, a massive bridge leading to the Black Forest, which allows transportation of heavy ores, which cannot be moved through portals, a small smelting area which was later moved for a more efficient mining camp, a sturdy defensive wall with watchtowers to keep out pesky greylings, and in later on progression, massive trolls who wreak havoc on your builds without these walls. We learned the hard way, and it's very important to build some walls. A small carrot garden for constant supply of food, and a couple of portals leading to more advanced areas, such as our mining town, where we use to ship mass amounts of ingots by ship back to the Great Bridge and to the community house. All of these essentials are pretty easy to set up, and as you can see, doesn't need to be overly complicated either. While this build is pretty simple, it allowed us to expand to more personalized builds and projects across the world. We are now developing this small community house into a massive village, as you can see here. If any of these other builds you see here interest you, I will be showcasing them all in a mini-series in this format. So be sure to subscribe to the channel for plenty more Valheim builds and other related videos. We also stream the progress of all these builds live using a unique co-op split screen setup, allowing you to see 2 builds created at the same time. We also do a Steam game giveaway during every stream, so if you want some free games, come check us out Thursday to Sunday on Twitch. But getting back to the build, let's dive into game and give you a first-hand look at this build and talk more about how some of these features came to be and how you can create them for yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the base. For anyone wondering how to hide the UI to make things more presentable for screenshots, it's Control F3. Which I like to use for videos like this. And it looks like it's getting late, and this is why the community bunkhouse is so important, because everybody can sleep. You need a fire nearby, and we'll talk about that in a second. You can see how we built the fires into the walls with chimneys. Let's just stand by the fire and dry off a little bit. Now we are resting, and we can sleep now. Another day in Valheim. This community house has definitely served us great memories. In 72 days, as you barely caught a glimpse of it there, you can light all the fires. So the build here that you're looking at, that started with the concept, oh wow, we're getting attacked. And this is why you need walls. Do the walls help? We left the gates open. No. Oh, here we go. It's trolls. And these trolls, once you hit a certain amount of progression, is exactly why you want walls. We've had these trolls come in and break bits of our houses when we did not have the walls, and those will actually keep them out pretty good. Hopefully I'm not backpedaling into another troll. Boom, and down he goes. The wall prevails. As you can see, the walls are important. All right, there's a look at the build on the outside, and while we're out here, let me just build a quick little staircase here. So this roof is pretty simple design. It's about a 4x10, 4 wide, 10 long, with some little windows here to get some light into the building itself, and it actually works really nicely. But this is the most important part, having somewhere for the smoke to billow and collect, but also escape from. Without that, you can get poisoned by the smoke, and the smoke will just fill up the house. So you have to find some way to manage your smoke. And then the side pieces here, they're just basically a 4x8 with 2 different rooftops. And it's a pretty basic, straightforward design. There's nothing crazy about it. We put a little bit of an undulating room here with a stable, just for added cosmetics and a little bit more room. And this part here is kind of interesting. They're like little chimneys, mini chimneys. And it just allows for us to light the beds, but not have the smoke stay inside. And as you can see, they work as little fireplaces. And when you need to sleep at night, all the beds will be warm. So integrating something like that is quite nice. And the reason there's so many like that is so we still have these upper windows. And if the windows are too big, it won't allow you to sleep either. So that's why they're so high up. And you could create these fun little bunk beds by just having a little bit of a 2x1 board with some supports and throw a bed on top. So that's another little fun idea that you can add in there. This is really great. I love this cook spot. When you're ready to cook mass amounts of food, somebody's just finished a hunt run, we could cook all the food at once and then come over here and store it in our food containers. So we have all the different containers that we use. We have rule to fill them from bottom to top, and we kind of organize it like this. All these categories seem to do us well, although I do recommend a little bit extra for stone, because of where our stone has filled up quite quickly. And we have some extras for gear. Anyone that comes and joins a little bit late, they can use our leftover old gear that we're no longer using just to get started. And that's actually served us well as well. So yeah, inside, I mean, it's spacious because we have lots of people running around in here storing things. We also want to be able to bring wagons through. So as you can see, we have this little stable where we use the wagons. And when we bring materials back, we want to be able to bring them inside and start storing the things. So having this room to move around is really quite precious. It's very good to have that extra space. So as big as the build is, it's also just the right amount of size for a first-time build. It served us very, very well. We have some carrots, some bees for extra food. And this part's really cool. I'm really proud of this project over here, which is the Blackmire Bridge. It takes you to the Black Forest. And if you didn't know this, carts fly up and down stairs quite easily. We kind of picked an unfortunate place at the top of a kind of a mountain because we wanted a nice view. But with that, our Black Forest, our local Black Forest, was across the river at the bottom of 2 mountains. And that was really difficult to cross with this. So we needed to build a bridge, and we're planning to do a harbor just down there where we can bring the boats back and forth. But this will take us all the way to the Black Forest, and we can transport materials back and forth. And the reason we put a roof on the entire bridge, we didn't want the water damage and the wood to rot. We didn't want an ugly green bridge, so we thought it was worth it to put a roof over the entire thing. And we don't want our carts to rot either, so we store them in a sheltered area. Looks like people have taken all the other carts and not brought them back yet. So I want to give you a sneak peek of where the portal goes, but we'll show you this in another build. The reason we don't have many smithies back here is because we've moved them to our mining facility, and we have a really cool setup, which I'm looking forward to talking about in a future video. We have a whole mining outpost here, and we do a lot of smithing and burning of wood, and we keep these forges hot, and they're just pumping out ingots. And we have somebody on a boat bringing them back and forth, and they sail all the way down and drop them off, and we carry it across the bridge. And it's been a really efficient production line, and I'll show that in a future video. We'll go over all those little details and even show you one of the runs. It's quite fun. And that's our community house, everybody. While it's a basic build, it's a starter build, and it's not the most advanced. It is definitely a recommended style for getting started in Valheim with your friends. All this stuff uses tier 1 materials. It covers all your tier 1 to mid-game necessities, and it'll get you to the point where you can start using all the materials that you've gathered and brought back here to start expanding outward and making villages. And we will start to show off some of the other crazy builds that we got going on in this community in future videos. And then we're going to move on to advanced builds in the future, castles, and all sorts of crazy stuff. We have tons in store for this game, tons we want to do, but we're just trying to take our time and have a good time in Valheim. So there you guys go. What did you guys think of our starter build? Did you like it? Did you find anything here useful? If so, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Tune back in. We got plenty more Valheim videos and streams, and we definitely would appreciate your support as we are in love with this game and we'll be playing this for many months to come. All right, everybody, I'm Johnny5Alive. This is Channel 5 Gaming. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.